And we're recording, so welcome to the VOD. There should be timestamps in the description, just basic ones, but it'll help you skip this waffle that I'm doing right now, for example. And more to the point, it will help you skip the bit at the start where I'm faffing about. With that said, let's hit the go live button. And let's cross our fingers that the title and everything is actually correct. Let's make sure that we're streaming. Yep. Yeah, title and everything's fine. Good, good. Right, well, Discord pings. Let's... hey Alex. Let's send it to the HardwareBot Discord first. Oh, can I not upload pictures to that channel? Oh, that's a pity. Oh well. I was hoping to give the stream a thumbnail. And now I can ping everyone in my Discord. Ooh, 54 plus people. We're doing well. Right. And I have a slightly different camera angle this time, so I'm more on camera than I normally am. Morning, Crispy. Yes, well, I suppose I might as well dive into it. Can at least start running the B-Diet XMP, no sense waiting for that. And then yes, so the plan is, what I've got is I've got some of this stuff. So this is Samsung E-Die on A2 PCB. And we'll be seeing how that does. But first, I need to lay down the baselines. Also, I have a fire extinguisher now. It's very unlikely that I'm going to need it, but you know. I thought it would be a sensible thing to have in general, and if I'm gonna own a fire extinguisher, I might as well have it in shot. So this is still running the cursed mem settings, isn't it? Okay, let's clear all those. I do have a profile saved for them. Nothing was fiddled with there, was it? Wait, what's that? Yep. Okay, and auto, and XMP. Yep, that's fine, and we're keeping our CPU clocks. Good. I also have soup. It's not really related to anything, but soup. The soup is still quite warm. Let's switch that over to Twitch. There we are. I must have run this stuff at XMP a million times, but you know what it's like. I just feel better showing off an XMP score at the start of the video, just so that it's like, yes, everything is still the way it should be. So I guess those settings are still there. Let's just leave those. So that does mean we'll get a slightly different XMP score this time. Isn't that nice? Nearly there. And 27.013. 30 minutes until the 30 minutes until the E-die comes out. But yes, let's get our 30 minutes on the clock and let's start tuning this B-die. Right. Reboot to BIOS. Yes, how is everybody today? Are we well? Always takes a moment for the capture card to sort itself out. Come on. Right, timings. Let's go flat 14. I think it's WR that does 8. Let's leave that for now. 4, 4, 16 on those. Memory clocks. We know that we can do 37, 33 on this CPU. Same with the Infinity Fabric. Let's clock that up. Recovering from your brother's wedding. Yeah. What was it like? What was the? Was it a wild party or was it a more sedate affair? My cousin got married a few years ago, and it was in the centre of Oxford, which is not that big of a city, but it's one of the most popular with like Chinese tourists specifically. And they were getting married in like this great big, I don't know if it's technically a cathedral, but like a massive church right in the centre of Oxford. They had a car outside as well, you know, bells ringing and everything. So they walk out and they're just encircled by, must have been somewhere about at least 20 Chinese tourists, all like taking pictures. And I mean, you know, it was great. Everyone's having a great time. I found it quite funny because like they'd previously said no pictures, so it's kind of ironic. But you know, I think everyone there was having a good day because they, you know, they get to see a proper British wedding. Hip hip cheerio. Why did I try and put on a British accent? My voice is already this. Right. No, Prev, you need to work on the blog. Do blog. I'm going to, as soon as this, as soon as I can get this to enter 24.638. Let's keep going. Let's use the reboot to BIOS batch file I have. But yeah, still on the B-die for now. Still on the B-die for the next 26 minutes and 50 seconds. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Right. What now? Row cycle time. Now here's the problem. There's probably a lot of people in chat who know better how to tune B-die than I do. Let's try SCLs. I bet they'll do 3. Well, that took long enough to post that I've made some progress on the soup. So sad that my E-die is E-dead, said Alice. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I've not known, I mean, Samsung 4GB E-die, I've not known it to be delicate. What happened to it? Oh. Okay, the SCLs did literally nothing. Great. No idea, but it throws errors in HCI at JDAC. Ooh. Yeah, that's not a good sign, is it? I find that kind of failure kind of interesting, because it's not like it's degraded, it's just that there's an actual like fault. But yeah, that's unfortunate. I've got a lot of 4 gigabit Micron E DDR3 that does that. Right. I have no idea what row cycle time is going to work, so I'm going to put in 64, and I might look like a noob. Let's see. $24. D9QBJ, yeah, I think so, yeah. I don't remember the FPGA codes off the top of my head, but I think it was that. I bought it in a big bundle of RAM in which everything else worked. Huh. Well, I'm glad everything else works. That's unfortunate, though. Packaging or something, maybe? The only time I've ever had an issue with 4 gigabit Samsung eDI was there was this one time that I forgot to take off MaxMem, and I thought like, oh, it's not booting into OS, something's wrong. But yeah, that was just forgetting to take off MaxMem. Nearly there. Why am I saying nearly there? There's like 20 minutes of this to go. 23. That was a big jump. I'm making this. I don't think I'm going to get there. 23.872. Yeah, I've probably made this too difficult for the eDI, but we'll see. We will see. So how low does row cycle time even go on? Wait, what? Did I not? Garbage can, yes. Thank you for the encouragement. I need to add that like emotes wall thing that like makes emotes appear. Hang on. Maybe I can do that now. Let's not do it now, let's do it while it's posting or something. I'm going to try 56 row cycle time. Where is it? There we are. Okay, hang on. Now if I post a garbage can in chat, it bounces across the screen. Success. Right. $20 minutes and 30 seconds. every time I try and like select a bit of text, is that right? Yeah. Every time I try and select some text in the thing, it like messes up and selects the wrong bit. It's annoying. Right. No, that one. Yes. So I have no idea what to do in terms of TRFC on this. Like, people keep saying 280. I might try that towards the end. I want to save time, but I also don't want to like screw up. It definitely needs gear down mode. I know it needs gear down mode. Let's try 412 on the WTRs and 24 on WL. That's probably too many things at once. Oh, it looks like it's posting, that's good. I really need to change my account picture. That's like 11 years old now. That's me 11 years ago. I think I was 18 at the time. Maybe 19. No, probably 18, yeah. Because I think it was taken on my laptop's webcam in my dorm room in the first year of university. Which was 11 years ago. Nearly. It's kind of weird to think it was that long. Like, smartphones weren't like that big of a thing still at that point. Anyway, that shaved off another 10 milliseconds. Oh, 656, not even 10 milliseconds. So how's everyone feeling about Team Cup? It's opening fairly soon. I'm definitely going to be doing something for it, I don't know what. The stage that's kind of interesting is a strong one. The stage that's annoying me a little bit, let's try WR, is that the AMD AGP stage, AGP 8X cards are not allowed. The thing is, AGP 8X existed for a really long time, so even like a Radeon 9200 is AGP 8X. So AGP 4X is like you're looking at a Radeon like 9100 or 9000, like the Radeon 7000. WTF. Yeah, exactly, right? Like, it's really subtle, but yeah, no AGP 8X. So no 3870s or whatever, or 3850s rather. It's like, yeah, go on eBay and good luck finding yourself a Radeon 8500 like non-LE. I mean, it's going to be interesting, and I've pointed this out to League, and I said, you know, is this intended or not? So it was in a very long post, so either he missed it or it is intentional. I mean, it might be interesting. I think the golds on those cards aren't even cold, so I don't know, it might be possible to take some golds. But the reason it annoys me is because I don't think there's any need to restrict the platform for the stage. because it's going to be GPU bound anyway. 23.521 that is. But yeah, it's like completely like Radeon X series gone, 2000 series gone. Any of the like AGP cards from like the 3000, 4000 series, absolutely not right out. It's going to be interesting. But it's came as a bit of a surprise to me as well when I noticed it. What else can I do? Let's see if the SCLs will go tighter. Let's try 2.2. The fact that I'm getting this far in like very, very quick tuning does make my regular streams look a bit sluggish by comparison. Yeah. Viewer count dropped by 3, so I assume that's 3 people who have gone off to eBay to find some cards. Not that I watch the viewer count or anything. But yeah, it's going to be interesting, but like, I don't know whether or not I want to pay like what is, you know, collector prices for these cards. Very mixed feelings about it. Not because, to be fair, collector prices for a Radeon 8500 is still like less than what an RX 480 costs or something. Well, that made literally no difference. No, not that. That one. Okay, so SCL's doing absolutely nothing on this dual rank set. What else? I mean, I can try and tighten primaries a bit. I could try more row cycle time. I should save a profile on this. Why do I have so many different... Let's save it over this one. Because I can't remember what crunch even is. I assume it's something to do with Ycruncher. Electromine only has rages. Yeah. There are a few out there, but not many. RTP, that's always a good one. Let's try RTP of 12. But if desperate, €4.99. Yeah, the Radeon 7000 is normally pretty easy to find. So, just in terms of having something that you can run for the stage, it's there. It's not going to be competitive, but 2 scores are better than 1. I think as well, some of these cards don't even have mounting holes, so that's kind of interesting. Like, you'd need to use a thermal adhesive or something to actually attach the heatsink, and you know, at that point there's the risk that you'll damage something if you use too strong of a thermal adhesive. But yeah, that's a whole thing as well. I think that's why nobody's run them cold. I don't know if you could thermal adhesive a water block on there, and if you'd want to. Is that worse? That's worse. I'm going to sod that then. Okay. Minutes. TRP. Let's try TRP. I can probably drop TVAS at least to 28, surely. That's something to try as well. T90, go. The soup may have been a mistake, because it means I'm too busy, like, do you drink or eat soup? Neither sounds right. I was going to say, like, drinking soup, which sounds a bit weird, but eating soup sounds weirder. 431. Okay. Yeah, let's do TRAS. I've made it really difficult for the E-die here, I suspect. Let's finish that soup off anyway. There we go. I am soup free. Yeah, I think one of the things with Team Cup is, like, I wouldn't say there's any one stage that's really grabbed me, other than actually there's a DDR3 X265 stage where it's like, I think it's 8 gigabytes of DDR3 required, and then it's P45, P67, and X79. Oh! Okay, that made it unstable. Alright. It can't do TRAS 28. Interesting. But yeah, so like, one of the stages therefore is P45 DDR3 with mandatory 8 gig of memory. That I'm interested in. That one's going to be really fun. That's the main one I'm looking forward to. It feels really cursed, but let's try 30. I don't know why. 30 just doesn't sit right with me for that. I don't know why. I can't explain it. I can't justify it. Just, it feels like... I don't know. It feels like it should be like 34 or 32 or something, and I can't explain why. Well, still unstable, which I guess is gratifying in a weird way. Alright, see you later, Kubies. Have fun at work. Yeah. Four minutes. I don't know if I have time to faff about with this timing much more. Let's put TRAS back to auto and let's do RFC, because that's going to get us more gains. And we'll do the thing with flat TRFC so that it doesn't use the dividers, I guess. I don't like it. Let's do that though. Yeah. Because RFC2 and RFC4 are for like partial refreshers. But the problem is that they have to be done more often because they're partial, so yeah. I don't know if it would even use them if they were set, to be fair. There might be a setting in there somewhere that makes it use them. I haven't found it yet, and I have 3 minutes and 15 seconds. So I've got time to change one more thing after this run. Assuming this run passes. If it doesn't pass, I still have time to change one more thing. I hope it passes though. Kind of. 23 dead. Nice. Okay. 2.5 minutes. And the capture card is being its usual self. Come on. I don't know what to change though. Okay, auto's really, really high for that. Let's try something in between. Let's try 42. That's a really high auto value. Right, yeah, because it was at XMP before. Oh. Oh, don't be like that. Okay, I'm going to have to reboot it anyway, but I'm just going to double check. What was it at XMP? XMP, it's 36. Okay. So let's set it back to XMP then, 36. Come on. We are about to run out of time, but as they say on Mastermind, I've started so I'll finish. I'll do this one more run. Two, one. And that's the 30 minutes. So let's give it this last run and then we'll change out the memory and we'll get going on the E-die. And the last one is slightly slower. I mean, that's interesting that really high row cycle time apparently didn't impede it. Actually, let's investigate that. I'm kind of curious. Because it was running, it said that it was running like 56 on auto, didn't it? Hang on. I want to find out if this is right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it to auto, and I will get to the E-die, but I'm going to set it to auto on TRAS, and then I'll reboot. I'll see what it says auto is in the BIOS, then I'll manually force that to make sure it's actually running it and not lying to me. And I want to see if it really does actually run faster. 58 it claims, which is even higher than row cycle time. Let's see if that's real. Let's see if it actually is marginally faster with TRAS that high. I think I've heard of some of like the ASRock benchers doing this in the past, supposedly. So it might actually be true. Come on. Load. Oh, that's so close though. That feels like margin of error. I'm going to give it one more run. One more. And then I will stop messing around and I'll reset the memory and get to the E-die. Huh, that's even worse. Okay. I wonder what it was really running then. I suppose there is an obvious way of finding out. I could set auto and see what it runs on auto. Yeah, I want to know. I'm going to do this. What is auto? If you're slower when I set the timing than you are on auto, then auto isn't what it says it is. So, what do we have? Come on. Huh. I guess auto really is that loose and it's just like a lucky boot or something. That's really weird though. That's weird. Isn't that weird? How about that? Well, okay, that is what it is. E-die now. Just need to clean everything up in the BIOS. Oh, scrolled down too far while I couldn't see the screen. Right. So with the E-die, I'm going to go for max benchable megahertz first, and then I'm going to try and tighten up. So I'll let that boot into OS and then shut down again. I'm a little bit worried by the fact that the screen resolution keeps messing up, because that makes me think that there's some kind of thing that's going to mess up the capture card, which previously I've only had on MSI motherboards. We'll see there. Right, well, one stick of B-die out, second stick of B-die out. I did overpay for these, but I've got a lot of mileage out of them, to be fair. Is that aligned? Yep, that's aligned. And second stick. Back when Buildzoid used to stream with a face cam, people made emotes out of his faces on stream, but if people did that with me, they'd just be emotes of hair. What are the B-die sticks? Good question. They are 3600 CL14 Corsairs. Yeah, dual rank, Dominator Platinums, 3600, 14, 16, 16, 36, 1.45 volts. I paid about 300 quid for them. To be fair, the value seems to have picked back up, because it's, you know, the DDR5 era now, so they're getting harder to find. So I've been considering selling them, but I can't sell them unless I have something that performs as well as they do for 3D benching. Alright, so we now have our E-die sticks in. So there's the SPD. If anyone's wondering what the OEM code is, there it is. Or I think this will give you the OEM code a bit bigger, about the same, and that's what the PCB looks like as well. I've also posted that in the Discord. Right. Well, let's get to overclocking. I have no idea what timings to run these at when pushing for max megahertz. I'm actually going to keep them on auto. I'm going to set 1.5 volts auto timings. I'll see what the board gives me for, I don't know, 4,000? Should we do 4,000 first? Let's do 4,000. I should do a prediction thing. No base value. Well, it would be at JDEC, so there's no point. I mean, yeah, screw it, why not? Yeah, I'll run them at JDEC and I'll see what they do at JDEC. Why not? Yes, they're single rank, yeah. Come on, validate the system timers. Oh, I've got a hell of a challenge, yeah. Okay, how much were the Corsair B-Dash sticks? Lots. It was in the region of 300. It was like it was either 270 or 330, something like that. I think. It was a while ago. $39.657. Oh, that's a number of seconds, isn't it? That's ooh. Okay. I'm going to run them at, let's say, 3600 with auto settings, and then I'll start the prediction. After doing that, assuming they actually work, I don't know what the auto timings are going to be on this board, but I feel like that gives them an opportunity to, I don't know, be a bit closer than they would otherwise be. Do you know which vendors apart from Oloy have a dual rank flat 14 3600 bin? I have no clue. It's not something I've paid attention to, honestly. I bought these because of the Corsair competition, and then I don't think I actually ended up using them for any scores. But yeah, so I didn't really research the market, is the thing. I bought these because they were, I think they were the nicest Corsair kit that was in stock at the time. They have a 4000 CL16 kit as well, which was not in stock. But I'm kind of glad that I got these, and the ones I did, the 3600 CL14s, just because it means I can run them at XMP and like not be screwed over by the F clock. So I get to do all of these streams where it's like, you know, can I beat, you know, dual rank B die at XMP? Which is all very fun. And it's barely any fucking faster than JDEC. Okay. Flipping, barely any flipping faster. Anyway, so there's our prediction thing. I'm not optimistic. I think I added an option for within 1 second or something, because otherwise there's no chance, frankly. Right, so what are auto settings? Let's find out. Auto settings are 26, 25, 25. Okay, that's probably going to be fairly serviceable up to more than we're at. Oh, I need to do a title update. Hey Kif, you've missed just hand tuning the B die, the results of which are on screen, and I've only just started with the E die. How's the F1? I don't really know much about F1, so it's just like, yes, did the cars race fast? I should do 4400, no trouble. I don't know. Did anybody porpoise? I'm now 1,000 channel points deep in E-Die, so I expect it to win. Well, I've got bad news for you, given that it's not posting at 4400 auto settings. All I really know about F1 is the porpoising thing. Oh, speaking of which, thank you for the Prime sub, Tim the Enchanter. That was while I was not streaming. Oh, wait, did that boot or did that recover? That recovered. Maybe it's green stick not being Godbin. Pool got dual rank up to 4600. I'm not sure. I think this configuration should be capable of it, so it might be timings. It might just need more TRCD or something. I want to become famous. Not really. I mean, no, not fame in particular is not really the thing that I'm after, to tell you the truth. Now, where's the ban button? Right, where was I? It's weird to get two of them at once. Let me check this is actually booted. It hasn't. Oh, that's interesting. The timings are still scaling. It's putting CL really high. So maybe the reason it didn't boot is because some of the auto timings actually went too high for it. I wonder. That's interesting. I hope that's what it is. Trying to cosplay DDR5. Yeah. Ah. Okay, that's also really interesting, actually. So it's unstable at 4333. That doesn't sound right, though. It doesn't sound right to me that it wouldn't be stable at 4333. So maybe it's just a bin thing. Maybe it's just bad, and like I've lost Alex some channel points. Or maybe it doesn't like being run this loose. Yeah, let's try CL18. I won't touch the others yet, but I'll try this. And the fact that it's just booting is a good sign. Just halving CAS latency, and it just boots. On the plus side, checking's going to be a little bit quicker now I've dropped the CAS latency. I'm going to be really disappointed if this is the maximum megahertz. It's just going to be painful. It has to do more than 4333, surely. That's really weird. So it's not like there's anything weird with the F-clock. I could try 2T rather than gear down mode. I could try more proc ODT or fiddling with those. Maybe. SoC. Oh, that might be a little on the high side, you know. I could try manual 1.2 volt SoC voltage. Let's do that. Maybe the auto SoC is too high. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be tricky. Like, because normally when I'm doing something like this, it's just like going down the timings and it's like reducing them by a tick and seeing what happens. But this is going to be a bit more squirrely. This is going to be a bit more... I'm going to have to fiddle with things where I don't know whether they're going to like being higher or lower. First it was I've started so I'll finish, now it's higher or lower. I've been watching too much old British television, that's the problem. I need to get like a soundboard at some point. For when I'm like tuning like a resistance value or something like that. I need to get like a soundboard with Bruce Forsyth going higher or lower. Especially because I can't do his voice. That's not happening. Okay, so it was SoC voltage. My instinct was correct. Hooray! So now, hopefully, I'm going to save a profile as work in progress, but hopefully I can go higher now. Might have to loosen CL at some point, maybe, hopefully not. Yeah, the only kind of voice that I can really impersonate is Prince Philip. I don't know if it's even that good of an impersonation of him, but it's sort of, you know. The very tight lips, and it's right at the back of the throat. The problem with being able to impersonate Prince Philip, though, is if you're actually going to say anything that Prince Philip would say, then you have a problem because your channel on Twitch is set to all audiences. And so you have to avoid being, like, excessively offensive. What a figure, though, Prince Philip. It's kind of interesting how, like, the kind of things that Prince Philip would say to people were basically the kind of things that you would expect to be shouted from a white van. But because it was coming from the husband of the Queen, it was genuinely very funny. And, you know, people talk about what a great wit he is, and obviously they're sucking up a bit. But I don't think they're being disingenuous. I think, I think, you know, it genuinely is funny. Let's try fiddling with SoC voltage a bit more. I think they genuinely did find him funny. But it's just, you know, he's meets some soldier who's got like a lot of metal on their uniform, and he goes, "Do you rust?" And it's just like that's the kind of thing that like someone would have shouted at them by a builder, you know. Let's try lower. I can just use the Prince Philip voice for Bruce Forsyth. Higher or lower? It looks like it's booting. The fact that it's booting with lower SoC voltage is a good sign in itself. Because if it was higher SoC voltage, it just wouldn't boot. So it hasn't made it that much less stable. I wonder if it'll still do 1866 F-clock with the reduced SoC voltage. I guess we'll find out. Come on. Please work. Please be stable. Please at least make it be close. At least put up a fight here. You can do it. Come on. Yes! Okay, we have 4400. Good. I'm sure I've done 4933 on this CPU. That was with Micron though. Let's be a little bit ambitious and jump ahead to 4533. Oh, that's F9. That's not a good sign. Oh yeah, general life update. I've massively cut down on caffeine. So I used to be having 2 cans of Monster every day. Now I'm having 2 bottles of Lucozade every day. Which is about half the sugar and a third of the caffeine. So yes, this stream is no longer powered by Monster Energy. Funnily enough, I might cut down some more by switching to Coca-Cola at some point, because at this point Coca-Cola's like only a little bit less caffeine than Lucozade. Well, at least it recovered. And technically that doesn't count as a B-sod. Oh, I'm feeling pessimistic there. A lot of people are in for no here. I'm surprised we don't have more people who think it'll be within 1 second. What happens if it's within 1 second and like nobody's voted for it? Do I just keep all of the channel points? How would keeping the channel points even work? They're not worth anything for me. Yeah, let's try a smaller jump. Still no. Well, that's interesting though. Yeah, that's F9, yeah. That is interesting. I suppose I could try even lower SoC voltage. You never know, 1.1 maybe. I think that's it recovering again, so let's see if I can catch the BIOS. Yeah. .1 volts, I see. I mostly drink bar red cola. Nice. I don't think I've ever tried bar red cola, to be honest. But, you know, props for it not being one of the big two. I think, to be fair, Lucozade isn't one of the big two. Yeah. Lucozade Ribena Suntory Limited. What's a Suntory? Is it something to do with a newspaper and a political party? I don't know enough about columnists to like make a joke. The only person who I know writes for The Sun is Piers Morgan, and he's not really a Tory, he's just annoying. Crispy says I like Jones. Don't know if you see that there. It doesn't ring a bell, no. Jones soda. Is that Jones Soda Co, the original craft soda? Yeah, no, I've never seen that. I've never even seen it on the American like import site that I used to buy Monster Iced Tea from. Okay, so let's go back to 1.15 and let's try 2T this time. F9. How many times has it F9'd on us? Probably a lot. First craft soda company I ever saw hit big success here in California. See, okay, been around 20 plus years. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, from the stereotypes I'm aware of when it comes to California, isn't it just like, don't you have a craft soda company on like every 3 blocks or something? Yeah, I'll go back to gear down mode for now. The obvious thing to try is to loosen C out. Just let it go auto, see what that does. Hopefully it wouldn't... it's F9, eh? It's still F9. I was going to say, hopefully it wouldn't set it something unsupported on auto, at least. Yes, and this one made the large supermarket change. Oh, right, cool. Did I say change? The large supermarket change. Maybe I've acquired a lift. That's not even what a lisp would sound like, though. Change. Like, that'd be more like chainth. Ugh, I'm overthinking this. I'm going to be really disappointed if it doesn't go above 4400. Especially because I could swear I've been above that even on like B-die. In fact, you know what? You know what? I'm going to look up my PB. Because I could swear I've done better than this. Your battery's about to die. Oh, sorry to hear that. I guess bye then. Yeah. I've done 4533. On B-die. So it has to be... I mean, I suppose it's probably a better PCB, but it's got to be capable of that. That was back when I had a 6800. Ah, good times. Anyway, let's reboot that before Windows Update wakes up and realises I gave it an internet connection. Worse, it means I have to get up. Oh, of course, it's going to be the morning for you, isn't it? Wake up, it's a beautiful morning. Do, 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 do. Might as well try Proc ODT. There's 36.9 on auto, I think. So let's see if raising it makes any difference. Well, that's still F9s. I really, at the risk of being stuck here for a long time, I really don't want to be limited to 4400. That would be awful. That booted suspiciously quickly. Oh-ho-ho! Why is SoC voltage so high? Maybe that's just wrong. Let's not worry about that. So 40 ohms proc ODT. Let's see how stable that is. I'm going to guess not very. Yeah, that's not massively stable, is it? Okay. So maybe a little bit more proc ODT then. Let's go higher. There's always voltage as well, I suppose. Especially because it's E-die. So it's not like it needs maximum. Why does plus make it lower? Look, this is the plus key, right? I'm hitting the plus key. That's ASRock things. I don't know. To be fair, I would not put it past. I wouldn't put it past Gigabyte or Asus either. I guess I'd be a little bit surprised if MS. No, anyone could end up doing that. To be fair, I don't know why I have more faith in MSI. Come on. The fact that it's still booted with proc ODT up another step is, again, is a good sign. I mean, for all I know, it might prefer 60 ohms, but I suppose if it does, we'll get there. Okay, come on. Come on, you got this far before. Can you get further? This is looking good. It's looking very good. Come on. Ah, that was close though. That was close. Let's try raising it another step. If I just have the Lucozade cap there, that's going to be really annoying. Might as well have it in shot. .48 ohms. Let's see. Well, still F9's the first time. That was another F9. That's not a good sign. I've got a load of random like packaging material under my desk. My room is not tidy. This isn't even my bedroom. This is like the living room. I feel like that was a recovery rather than a boot. Yeah, that was a recovery. Okay. Well, at least at this kind of level of like instability, you can sort of feel around the edges, I guess. Let's try 2T again. What? No, not load defaults. Save and exit, thank you. That's F9ing. So maybe gear down mode actually is better. Alright. I guess the next thing to try is probably... I don't have more SoC vol. If I fiddle with voltages, then the resistances that it prefers are going to change, aren't they, probably? You booted before. Oh right, yeah, it's not on gear down mode. That's why it didn't boot. What am I on about? Now this ought to boot. It's F9ing the first time, that's fine. If it F9s the second time, I'm going to be annoyed. That's... Why did I say that? It's just tempting fate. I completely forgot to put the light on before starting. Is that going to make a difference? That's actually worse, isn't it? Yeah. Let's not bother with that then. That way I don't have it in my eyes. Oh, I missed the BIOS. Yeah. I don't really have lighting figured out, if I'm completely honest. Still relying on the room lighting, really. Which is kind of ironic, 'cause, like, my neighbour is an amateur film director who's, like, really into lighting. Like my next door neighbour. BIOS. I don't know, maybe I could get him to help with this at some point. I'm not sure. I don't know if it's the kind of thing that he'd... Yeah. So... let's go back to 40 ohms, I guess, because that was sort of in the middle of what worked. And let's just try pushing voltage. Well, look at that. That looks like it's booting. Although I suppose it would boot anyway because of the Procode ET. Well, you'd hope it would. So has that actually booted? Yes. TCL is loose because I set that back to auto at some point. But that's fine. I'm going to remove the BSODs and CMOS clears from the counter because it doesn't look like this memory is the type to BSOD or to require a CMOS clear. Like, that's not how it behaves when it's unstable, so they're just taking up space on the screen. Now, will it pass? That's the question. Come on. There's probably a joke in there about clocking, isn't there? Never mind. Oh. And that's what I get for going there. Right. I still feel like that wasn't as unstable. Somehow. Maybe I'm being too optimistic. Come on. Yeah. Okay. It's not that unstable. I'm going to try giving it even more voltage. I'm going to put CL back to 18. Because like 32, just, yeah. Right, 1.65 volts. Hey Alex, how's it going? I'm bashing my head against 4466, so I might have bad news about your channel points. I'm kind of frustrated because, like, I know the platform is capable of more. I know it because I've done Ycruncher on B-die at higher frequencies than this. So it's just like, this should be this should be working. I should be able to make this work, but I have not succeeded in making it work yet. I have 15k channel points. It should be fine. That's good. That's good then. Oh. Well, it was instant. So I raised voltage and I reduced cast latency. And now it's failing instantly. Okay. So is that cast latency too tight for it? Or does it not like the voltage? Or does it not like the voltage with that Procode ET? All these mysteries and more may or may not be we'll see. Let's try 20. CL20. It's always a bit annoying though, because it's like, How is it scaling in terms of frequency per voltage? I don't know. I feel like going up to 1.6 made it more stable. But yeah, I'm not sure. I've already had to fiddle with SoC voltage, so I don't know that I'm actually limited by the memory. I might be limited by the process. Goodness sake. Okay, so it's not CL. Because if it was CL, then that would have made some difference. And it hasn't. So maybe it's voltage, maybe it's proc ODT or something, I don't know. Maybe it's one of the other termination settings. Yeah, proc ODT is in this menu. What am I doing? So let's try nudging up proc ODT again. It seems to be posting more reliably with the higher voltage. I'll say that for it. It's only doing that because I've used the restart button. That's fine. That's not a concern. Just, I don't like shutting down when the system's like that unstable. It's another one of those like weird, just sort of vibes-based things. Like how I don't like certain TRAS values. It's just like, I have no, you know, explanation for why I don't like them. Nope. Still a hard no. Screw it. It didn't even make a difference. Maybe I would benefit from nudging SoC voltage back up again. Now that VDIM is higher. Okay, well that's F9, so that's a no on that front. And now it booted. Okay. Well, I've not seen that frequency at that SoC voltage before. Well, not today anyway. Come on. That's a new one. How long have I been at this for? About an hour. I'm going to go back to auto SoC voltage because the board often sets these things quite well. So maybe it's, let's not get in the weeds and let's just use VDIM. Let's use pure VDIM. Well, it's posted. So let's see if that works. Come on. No, same issue. Right. So let's try just 1.8 VDIM, not SoC voltage. Just, you know, full send, as they say. Because when you think about it, I'm going to want to run 1.8 anyway, right? Just, you know, to get like the CL and stuff. So there's no point tuning anything at a lower voltage than 1.8. Why not? You know, why should I do that? It's EDI. You're supposed to run it at 1.8. Oh. You know, on reflection, maybe I could just stop at 4400. That sucks, though. I'm not happy with that at all. What's the point on being on A2 PCB if you're only doing 4400? There's no point. I'm not happy with it. I'm not having that. I'm going to fiddle with stuff and see if it works, and while I do that I'm going to update the BSOD counter. Don't diagnose my PC. I don't want you to diagnose my PC. In my testing, my 5900X and 5700G doesn't like high VDIM. I agree, but I had given myself the impression that on this board they were better at it than on the Unify X, but perhaps I was mistaken. Or maybe there's a something somewhere. I mean, that was even less stable, right? So what if I raise proc ODT? Okay, well that's F9ing. Maybe Gear 2 Rocket Lake would be better for this. Quite possibly, yeah. I don't have Rocket Lake of any gear. Or even Comet or Coffee Lake. Maybe I should get some. Z490 and 590 are pretty cheap these days. Now I'm assuming that's booting because it recovered. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to count the system repair screen as a BSOD. But yeah, I'm really disappointed that I'm not getting high clocks here, because that's the whole point of A2 PCB. Does it even do 4400 at 1.8? I wonder if anyone's ever tried like the ridiculously high proc ODT values. Supposedly they're unsafe. But yeah, I don't know. So that's 4400 booting at the higher VDIM. I really hope that's not the limit though. No, that's... Be careful what you wish for, right? A finger curls on the monkey's paw. 4400 isn't the limit, it's lower! Maybe some of these RTT-NOM and RTT-WR values. So if they're currently set to off, Comet Lake could be decent, but doesn't it top out at around 4400 as it doesn't have Gear 2? It doesn't have Gear 2, but it tops out a lot higher than that. People have run like 4800 CL14 for B-die benching on there. So it can go pretty high. Even Coffee Lake, like... Coffee Lake can hit 5000. Especially if you've got the right board. Right. So RZQ I think is a value on the the stick. So at the moment there's disable. So there's only a few values for RTT-WR. Hang on, let's leave RTT-NOM on auto and do WR. So high Z, that's presumably something high, like high impedance. And then there's a resistor on the stick, so it's either that value divided by 3, divided by 2, or divided by 1. That's with 1.6 SAIO though, doesn't sound great for the IMC. Well, yeah, but it's benching. I wouldn't mind running that. I've got a single stage, for goodness sake. I could put it on single stage. So that's going to be the lowest value, and that's going to be the highest. So let's start with the lowest value, and let's go from there. F9! Hooray! Great. Wonderful. I love it when that happens. It's a good thing I don't have an F9's counter. Because most of the stream would be me updating it, is the thing. I need to get a picture of an F9 postcode and make that into an emote. I suppose I could... probably a drawing of it would make more sense, actually. I missed the BIOS. Yeah. I'll just double check that it's running in safe mode. It is. I'm certain it is. At least I haven't had to clear the CMOS, because on the cursed mem I was clearing CMOS constantly. So I guess this memory is a better choice for the Unify X. That joke's really unfair because mine's been fine. Like, just actually unplug it or like turn the power off before you clear the CMOS. Don't clear the CMOS with the power connected, for goodness sake. Like, who does that? But yeah. So let's try RZQ over 2. If you miss the BIOS and get the OS selection screen, Control-Alt-Delete restarts the boot process. Interesting. That makes sense. Well, I didn't know that. I'll keep that in mind, thanks. At least once you're in the OS though, like you can actually use like the batch file I sorted out last stream that just kicks you straight into BIOS. Otherwise you risk ending up in a loop. I got BIOS that time. I really, really want to get higher clocks working. So RZQ over 3. That hasn't F9'd. It's not F9'd. That's a really good sign. I think that's the one that I remember was supposed to be good. Like, according to Sask. So... and it's only 4400, but it's 4400 at high VDIM as well. So... let's see how stable that is, because I think... with it on auto, which I think was disabled, it was failing early on in Ycruncher. And this... I need a better desk, so because this isn't really wood, it's a kind of... I mean, it's sort of a plasticky... like, there's technically there's wood fibres in there somewhere, but... okay, well that failed, but it failed quite late in the run. Okay. I still feel like that's more stable than it was on auto. It sensed you got distracted. Yeah. I'm going to try the other termination thing as well. I'd really like... not Infinity Fabric. I'd really like for high voltage to work. What a wonderful order this is to have the values in. Let's start with RZQ over 1 and go from there. I'm approaching an hour and a half of butting my head against this now. Well, not quite, but hour and 20 maybe. So it booted right up, which is always a good start. I I really want to get the clocks out of this, I really do. I should have done a Zen timings for like the run that's actually on hardware bot with the B die. Because I have messed around with this before, but it's long enough ago that I don't remember much of it. Okay. Well, that's not much. That's not any worse, really. I'd say that's about the same, stability-wise. Not a very good way of quantifying stability, but, you know. So let's try over 2 then. And we'll go from there. If this doesn't work, do I want to keep the high frequency? Or do I want to keep the high voltage? I kind of want to keep the high frequency, even if I have to reduce the voltage. Yeah. Well, it depends what I can do on the RRD timings, to be fair. Ooh, that's unhappy. Is that a fluke, or is it really that unstable? I can't tell if that's actually any less stable. Let's just jump ahead to over 5 and just see how that behaves. Just so that I have an idea of this, if this is even making a difference. I'm starting to flag a bit, which is a bit early for that. Well, it's not a bit early because it's been nearly 2 hours, but you know. Is that less stable or is that a fluke again? I don't think this value I've been fiddling with is making any difference. I'm not convinced it is. I'm just going to set that back to auto, and then I'm going to reduce voltage. Has been a bit brutal, yeah. I'm going to set that value back to auto, and then I'm going to reduce voltage until I'm stable, and then we can work on timings. So RTT nom auto. Do not hit F1 for that? F1, okay. So let's see if 1.75 volts is happy. I'll reduce voltage a hair below what it needs to pass. I think just to make sure. At least we're booting reliably at 4400, he says, grasping at straws. I'm really disappointed with this stuff. This is disappointing. I'm actually wondering, I've got some A1 PCB stuff as well, and I'm wondering if that would be better. But that's not what the stream is. So I guess one way or another it's nice to know that like A2 PCB E-die is not like magic. It's not secretly the best memory in the world. It just crossed my mind to like switch to like the other kind of A2 PCB E-die, of which I have plenty. But no, let's not do that. Maybe end it on 4x4 A1 A2 cursed mix. Oh. I do want to try 4dim at some point. I might. We'll see how I go. Because the nature of tuning timings is generally there's enough timings to tune that like by the time I'm done it would be. I mean, even though it's only 5 PM now, by the time I've tuned every single timing, it's going to be like 10 PM. But I do want to figure out whether I can do 3D bench settings. Alright, see you Alex. Enjoy the football. How is dual rank on chips with IO die anyway? So, in terms of raw clocks, it would struggle. It would probably... Hey Vinster. On the Unify X, you can do 4400 on dual rank B die with an APU. I don't know about... Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Right now, just so I've got it reliably booting 4400, but the thing is, it doesn't like the high voltage. So I'm reducing voltage now until it's stable, basically, which is very much an admission of defeat. You can do almost 4800 dual rank with Micron on APU. Yeah. I don't have any dual rank Micron. Well, the only dual rank Micron that I do have is 4 gigabit revision B, which is not known for hitting high frequencies. Well, it's not known for anything. People don't know it, but it's not known for high frequencies. It's also a kind of warm day. That might not be helping. 4 single rank dims. Yeah, maybe. That's what I'm interested to figure out, right? Because the dual rank B die kit that I have. Hope reducing volts didn't crash the stream, lagged out badly for a minute there. No, I mean the stream is on a different system, but this is very consistent in its instability right now. Yeah. I want to sell my dual rank B die, but only if I have an equivalent setup that I can use by just mashing together my single rank kits. Which I have a lot of single rank B die actually, because I bought a load for dead cheap when Alder Lake came out, and a few people were like liquidating their X99 systems. Okay, well, I reduced it to 1.6 and now it's F9ing on me. So that's lovely. Come on. I swear I've had it pass at 4400. I swear I have. It's possible, I know it. Maybe this will. I have to keep reminding myself that just blasting the fire extinguisher in it to cool it down would not be a good idea, and it's not a sustainable form of cooling. Also, it'd be really loud into the mic. You know, it keeps failing in the same place. And I'm getting suspicious. Yeah, I'm going to drop memory speed to 3600, which I'm very confident will be fine, and just make certain that Ycruncher's not like dead, that I haven't killed the installation. Because that would be a problem, and if that's what's going on, I'd like to know sooner rather than later. If I have to go to like 1.5, I'm going to be disappointed. I mean, I'm already disappointed, to be fair. And it doesn't look like the Ycruncher installation is balked, because it seems to be fine right now. Yeah. I keep going to restart rather than restart to BIOS. Okay, installation is fine, it just doesn't like 4400. And to be fair, who does? Did I actually remember to set the clock? I'm going to double check that when I get into OS. I'm not certain. Come on. I did. Okay, good. Please be stable now. Please. Maybe I should try the inner slots. I'm not frustrated enough to do that yet. I'm getting there. Hang on, what SoC voltage am I at? Oh, it's on auto. Right, okay, 1.15. Let's go back to that and let's go back to 1.6. Come on. Come on. Oh. I swear I had 4400 passing. I swear it passed earlier. Just got a couple of 754 boards with CPUs and memory for £18. Nice! There's a couple of 754 stages in Team Cup, so that'll be fun. And a 7770 for £9.50. Cool. 7770 is on my list of like GPUs that I need to do at some point. I need to fix that 730 first. I volt modded a 730 and I messed up a capacitor near the PWM controller. And like the capacitor's not essential, but I think it's shorted. Which is messing with the VID, I think, because of the way that that controller works, and so the card's like running at too low of a voltage. So I still need to fix that. I've needed to fix it for a while. It's been sat on the list. Are you going to join MLG for the Team Cup, by the way, or are you soloing it? Because I'll be honest, we could probably do with the help. Oh, this is looking good. Oh, really? Oh, it was so close as well. Okay, well I can't call that stable, because if it's capable of failing, then I might drive myself mad with it. I'm close though, I can feel it. So close. Yeah, let's just try 1.53. I don't want to give my team up now after over a year. I'm 5th in the UK at the moment. 5th in the UK for teams. I mean, fair enough, fair enough. I don't know how much competition there is for teams in the UK. Tim the Enchanter says probably going to hop on MLG Fluid Cup. Yeah, that'd be cool. Let Jumper 118 know in the UK Discord, and then he can give you a role for it or something. Assuming you're decided. Okay, that passed. Good. Right. So, I'm going to take a 3-minute bio break now because it's been a couple of hours and a lot of frustration. So I'm going to run a 3-minute advert while I do that, and what that means is that there won't be pre-roll adverts for like half an hour afterwards. So yes, I will be back in hopefully just about 3 minutes. Feel free to, you know, grab yourself a coffee or something, or tea. Where's my BRB screen? Oh, hang on, I still have the music thing on the BRB screen. And welcome back. Yeah. Vinster did my Q9 415 last night, happy with my Rampage formula. Also OCZ Reaper memory. 99544, not bad. Right. I'm going to lower voltage another teensy little bit, just for sanity's sake. Just because otherwise, like, if it's unstable, if it doesn't pass, then which chip to bench today? Oh, that's always the question, isn't it? You've been getting through a lot. You've been doing really well. Let's do 1.518. I'll just make sure that still passes as well. Oh, it's doing the thing with the... It doesn't do that often, at least. But I'm a little bit worried when it does, because I think if it does it often enough, the capture card starts bugging out or something. Which I've had that happen with MSI boards a lot, weirdly. More volts is my approach. Yeah, normally, yeah. For some reason, at higher voltage, the high memory clocks are less stable on this setup, which is really... I thought this board didn't do that, but apparently it does. So, yeah. Okay, so one more run for sanity's sake. And I guess we'll also call this the baseline. I'm going to get rid of the PB and title from the PB and target from the Twitch title, because I've got it on the stream anyway. Q9450 didn't want more than 1.52, doesn't scale well. Yeah, that's generally, with something like that, it's a sign that either it's... Oh, really? I'm going to rerun that. Either it's getting too hot, or you're limited by something else, maybe? Like you might be FSB limited, which, I mean, on a low multiplier quad core, that's likely. FSB on quad cores is a lot harder than the duals. Yeah, heat. Yeah, that would do it. Right. I thought I had this nailed down. With chiller on, it was still hot, was overwhelming the chiller. Oh wow, that is toasty. I'll try 1.5, and if that's not stable either, I'll go back to 1.53, which seems to be working, I guess. And if this does work, I'll stick with it, I guess. Yeah. I'm going to go quite aggressive on tightening up the timings, because, like, I'm annoyed at the fact that I've been bashing my head against frequency on this for so long. Come on. Come on, you stupid pile of garbage. Okay, that passes, right. 35.523. You cooling the sticks? Not really, but there is a fan on them. I don't think I'd be able to... Well... There's a fan from the AIO just there. The chipset... It's X570. I mean, A, the chipset's not got the memory controller in it, and B, there's a fan on it. Yeah, they shouldn't be temperature sensitive. They should be alright. I'm going to give it a second run just sort of for sanity's sake. But yeah, like, I'm normally pretty big on memory cooling, but like, not with this. I don't think it's a big deal with this. I know rolling over with voltage you would think, but on this platform I'm fairly sure it's like a signalling thing. Oh. Bollocks. There's a fan header down there, isn't there? Yeah. I'll stick a RAM fan on it if I can. There's a power supply cable that might be in the way, but I'll see if I can. Actually, is that fan cable down there in the way as well? Yeah, there's a fan cable down there that's in the way. Let's pull that out of the way. That out of the way? Yep. Okay. I don't think it's likely to be the difference maker, to be completely honest, but you never know. Right. I'll give it a minute. It's got to be worth a try, yeah, I suppose, yeah. That's F9's twice, that's a bad sign. Nice lights too, yeah, yeah. The fact that it's F9 twice means it's going into recovery now. But that might just be because it's booting from cold. Maybe. So this should be. This is acting a lot like running B-die at 4400, like dual rank B-die at 4400 on the Unify X. Yeah, so that's gone into recovery. To be fair, it is quite a warm day. So it is a bit warm in here now. So you never know, this might help. So let's just see if that runs now. That is F9ing again. Maybe I should go, maybe 1.53 is the sweet spot. Or is that booting? That looks like it's booting. It's not F9 a second time. Yeah, that's booting. Okay. And that should be at full overclock now. Yep. So the question is, how stable is it? Maybe it has helped. Maybe. It was failing really late. It's not inconceivable that it might have been CPU. No, it can't be CPU, surely. I guess it's possible. But then you'd think that the B-die that's running it so much harder would have failed. No, it doesn't make sense. It's still failing. It's not any less stable for the fan. I don't think. I normally really like doing these Ycruncher streams, and the reason I really like doing them, lower CPU, it's not CPU. It's not CPU because I've got it stable by fiddling with memory. I've tried that already. Lowering memory clock as a sanity check, but I'll show you anyway. Why not? I have to remember to put the CPU clock back once I'm done. So it was at 4.4. Hello. So I'm pretty certain that's not going to make it any more stable, changing CPU clock. I'm certain it's memory. What is it I'm doing here? So, I'm running a benchmark, Ycruncher, and I'm comparing some different memory kits with manual overclocks on them. So I've run a couple of passes, which you can see on the screen up in the top right, with a dual rank B-die kit. So that's using high-end, Corsair Dominator Platinums. 3600 CL14, So there's XMP, and then there's having spent half an hour tuning it up manually for the best possible performance. And now I'm on a different kit. I'm on this kit. There's a photo of it. And, you know, it's a OEM kit, you know, low end. Theoretically, might have had some potential, but I am really struggling with it. So, yeah. So I'm currently bashing my head against a wall, trying to configure it to actually be stable. I'm going to try going back to 1.53, because that's the last voltage that I had it passing at. I was really hoping I'd get it to go higher than 4400. So these, I don't know like how into this stuff you are, these Zen 2 CPUs, and sorry, Zen 3, for a lot of things they have this kind of sweet spot where you want to have the fabric clock, the F clock, synced up with the memory clock. But for Ycruncher, the benchmark that I'm running here, they actually normally prefer if you can just clock the memory higher. So that's what I was thinking, is this memory should have been able to clock, I thought it was going to clock a lot higher than it is. I thought I was going to get 4600 out of it, maybe 4800, something like that. I was hoping. And that actually in this benchmark might, you know, let it do pretty well. Yeah. So glad to see AMD making a comeback in the market. Intel needs competition. Yeah, although, oh, for goodness sake, it's just getting less and less stable. This, like, whatever I do with it, it's just getting less stable. I'm going to drop down to 4333 at 1.6 volts. Yeah. I mean, for me, it's like, I just like playing with stuff. So, you know, I'm going to be doing some streams with the HardwareBot Team Cup at some point, which is an overclocking competition, and a lot of that's going to be on much older hardware. But yeah, so it's like, it's kind of liberating. It's like, I'm not interested in like what's the highest gaming performance, but it's like, how can I make this faster than itself? You know, you've got the numbers on the screen there. You know, you've got JDEC, so what it does at default, and I'm trying to hand tune it and get it faster. Hopefully I'm going to be able to beat the high-end memory kit when XMP. As to whether I'm going to beat it, the high-end memory kit with the tune on it, that's probably not happening at this rate. I'm going to leave the fans because they're not, I don't think they've made it like appreciably worse. But yeah, but I will just make sure this is actually passing the benchmark now. Stable is a strong word. But yeah, like that's my the last few streams that I've done have been stuff like this, where it's like taking a top-end memory kit at XMP and then like a low-end kit and then beating the top-end kit by spending more time tuning it. But for this, I thought that this kit was going to do really well, so that's why I spent some time hand tuning the top-end kit as well. But I don't think it's going to get there, you know. Oh no, are you kidding me? Even 4333? Oh, for goodness sake. I really thought it was going to do better than this. I really did. I'm going to undo some of my fiddling that I've done in the BIOS, because it should be able to do 4333 even at higher voltage. So let's put cast latency back to auto, because that's just an arbitrary value anyway. Let's just put all of those back to auto. Proc ODT, oh, that's on auto anyway. Yeah, sure. And let's stick to it. So Ycruncher is a RAM stress testing tool. Not intentionally, but effectively, it's very sensitive to memory stability and memory performance. What it was actually built to do was to calculate massive values of pi, and it does that in a way where the code is very optimized and really saturates the processor. It makes the most of the processor. So if I load up Benchmate here, which has a load of benchmarks in it, yeah, so Ycruncher has where are the options? Oh right, yeah, so with Benchmate you've got different values of pi that it can calculate. So the higher values need a lot more memory. So if I try and run the 10 billion, it says there's insufficient physical memory, and when it's being run with Benchmate, it will actually just refuse to run. But yeah, depends a lot on the processor. On a 5800X, it's 100% CPU bound. On a 5950X with 16 strong cores, it's almost 100% memory bound. Anyway, let's see if that last bit of fiddling has actually made it pass. Because what I want to do is I want to tune timings. I want to see if I can get, actually get a score out of it and get better results. But that's not going to happen if it's not even passing. So, come on. But yeah, it's really, if you've got a CPU that's memory bound especially, it's really good for testing memory stability. Technically that's a new PB, so I suppose I should update the thing on screen. Sad for the new PB to be above 30 seconds, but there we are. That's how things are going today. 34.780. I'm going to give that another couple of runs just to make sure. Yeah. Ycruncher's so heavy on memory, it will tell you if your memory is unstable a lot of the time. It doesn't hunt down like every single error the way that something like HCI memtest does, but it's pretty good. It doesn't tell you your system's stable, but it tells you it's pretty stable. Also, if you pass Ycruncher, you'll pass just about any benchmark generally. 3 runs. If it passes the 3rd run, I'm going to call that stable enough and I'm going to start tuning it. And then the fun starts. Because we're actually tuning up the RAM is what I'm comfortable doing. That's what I like doing. I don't like bashing my head against frequency like this. So come on, please pass for me. Yes, okay. That passed. Good. Missed a bit, did you get 4400 to work? Nope. Nope, we are 4333 and I'm sticking to it. I'm not happy with it, but it is what it is. I should really put work in progress at the top of the list at some point. I mean moving everything down. Right, timings. What kind of cast latency would I expect? 18's probably going to work. I don't. 27 might be tight enough on those. We'll see. RRDs 4, 6, 20 is my go-to to start with those. Let's just start with those. Now this should get a huge jump in performance now, because Ycruncher is really sensitive to the RRD timings and T4, which they're kind of linked because so RRD S and L control the gap between commands in the same or in different bank groups. T4 is the number of cycles in which you can send 4 of those commands. So it's like if T4 is quite long, you might send read, 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 and then you have to wait and wait and wait and then send more reads. Which it kind of just takes some load off the memory, but like a lot of the time it isn't really needed. Now, because I've tightened those up, and because Ycruncher is really heavy on sending out these read commands, I'm expecting this is going to make a big difference. It might even go below 30 seconds on this run. I mean, I know I adjusted CL as well, but just take my word for it, it's the RRDs for Ycruncher make a bigger difference. Crispy, did it ever get close to finishing or constant instability? I thought I got a couple of passes at 4400. I thought I was going to be able to get 4400, but no. It was still really unreliable, really unstable. Wasn't happy with it. Yep, below 30 seconds, just like that. That's shaved off over 5 seconds. Ah, that's more like it. I mean, that was the low-hanging fruit, but that's more like it. 29.258. Good. Well, straight back into BIOS. Tune something a bit more. I'm kind of curious actually about gear down mode or 2T. Let's try cast latency 16 first, which might work. Okay, well it's posted, that's always a start. I'd be really surprised if cast latency 14 works. I don't think that's on the table. Oh! Yeah, okay, that's not stable, is it? That doesn't count as a B-SOD. It does count as a B-SOD, let's be honest. Close enough. Even the BIOS is like looking weird. I really hope that doesn't cause a problem. I used to find it such a pain in the ass tuning memory, but now it's one of my faves, even better than benching. Yeah, I've definitely gone down that rabbit hole myself a bit. I'm very into the memory. Alright, see you later, Crispy. Okay, I'm gonna see if it will run 2T rather than gear down mode. And we'll see what the performance is like if it does. Because that might let me run CL17 at least. Maybe. Well, it's booted. Always a good start. So if this passes, we'll try CL17, and then at least we know CL's done. Then we can work on TRCD, which I'm not expecting much from TRCD RD, but TRCD WR, that I don't know how low that will go. I'll probably just, oh no, really? Why does it have to fail at the very end? I mean, okay, well that wasn't at the very end, that's nice of it. Okay. That's kind of interesting actually, because that means maybe it was the CAD bus. Because that's the same behaviour that I was getting before. I'm not reading that, not reading out that chat message, but yeah. Maybe I would be able to get more frequency out of it by fiddling with some of the CAD bus settings, though. That'd be kind of interesting. I actually don't know whether A2 PCB is supposed to be better for the CAD bus, for like the ability to run 1T. I think it's supposed to be better for like frequency overall. But maybe it's not as good at running 1T. Or apparently it's not even as good at running 2T, but we'll see. Come on. Okay. Still passing. Happy that it's slightly faster, but that's variance. I'm not going to bother to update for that. Okay. So that's passing, and that's our cast latency we know is now minimised, because 17's not on the table because of gear down mode. Okay, good, good. We're okay. Save a profile, then RCD. Tim the Enchanter sneezed about 10 times and now my sides hurt. Oof. A few years ago I had a cold that was really, really bad like that, and it like both myself and actually my partner as well both like coughed so hard that we like gave ourselves back pain. I don't think we It was hernias, though. Okay, let's try just 26. Let's do that across the board. Because I think WR and TRP should both go below RCDRD. Hopefully. Probably. From what I know of, like, these chips. I mean, according to the postcode reader, it's posted. But, it was a good thing I saved a profile. And it's not responding. Oh, no, it is responding. Okay. Come on. BIOS. You clearly weren't happy with that. Get me BIOS. Now, if you believe the postcode, it says AB on the postcode. That's the postcode when it's gone into BIOS. Isn't great for TRCD, but it can't be that bad. I mean, bear in mind it's at 4400, but apparently it can. It's not even at 40. It's at 4333. Well, still. I'm going to kill power and just boot up again from cold without clearing CMOS and just see how it behaves. I'm going to try and get into BIOS again, but I have a feeling these sticks are not very good. Tim the Enchanter, I got 3600, 16, 21, 21. Yeah, exactly. I mean, this would be what? Another 20% on top of that? Which would be about, well, 26, I guess. Okay, this is a CMOS clear. The first CMOS clear of the stream. Where's my pokey thing? I need a pokey thing. Aha! Pencil. Button. Right. This is why you save profiles. And there was me thinking, oh, this configuration's non-cursed. Oh. I think it's the capture card, you know. So I just cleared CMOS, and this is exactly what it looks like when the capture card has bugged out. Yeah, this is the capture card. It's not the memory, it's the capture card. Sadly, I can't blame the capture card for not passing Ycruncher. It's the capture card. That's annoying. That's really annoying. I'm going to have a look at whether... So with the prediction, is it possible, like, what happens if I don't choose an outcome and I just delete it? What happens to people's channel points? I'm going to Google that, because basically that's the one thing that's the one thing that is sort of keeping me going at this point, is the idea that I have to come up with a valid result for the prediction. I don't think I can actually end the prediction without choosing a result. I can't like void it, which is... So I'm going to give this a little bit more of a chance. We don't have a capture card anymore, because the only way to get the capture card back is to restart the stream, and I don't want to do that. So we were doing 26, 26, 26, weren't we? I want to say that I've given it a fair shout. And once I can... At this point the answer is going to be no, it won't, because it will break me instead. Which still counts. That monitor's really flickery on the camera, isn't it? That's not too bad, I suppose. Oh, okay, so actually TRCD26 didn't pass anyway. Yeah, okay, no, I'm done. I'm capital D done. This is the answer is no, and the reason is because it's broken me. And that's the stream. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you want to get pinged when I go live and see what my plans are and stuff, I have a Discord for that kind of thing. I've also we have a channel for talking about car stuff as well, and also we have a channel for identifying RAM because I like doing that. So feel free to join the Discord if that sounds like something you want to do, and that's about everything. I'm gonna pretend I'm a good streamer for a minute and double check if there's anyone on that I ought to be raiding. Nope. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed watching your pain. I'm glad. I'm glad of that at least. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'm sorry it didn't, go a bit better, really. But I think we've at least learned something, which is that A2 PCB die does not clock high on Zen with the IO die. A2 PCB or not. And we've also learned that this capture card bugs out sometimes, which I did already know, to be fair. I suspect it might be vaguely related to memory instability or certain types of memory instability. Anyway, that is what it is. Yes, thank you for watching, and goodbye.